So over the past few days, I've been discussing a lot of the issues surrounding Social Security. Some of the things that could be coming, a potential boost, increases across the board, what lawmakers are currently doing, what President Biden stands for, and everything in between. Now, one of the questions that I just got recently, and this is one that I've been getting a lot over the past year, is there any truth to increases to Social Security benefits? And there is. There are a lot of discussions happening right now, and I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes here, because the discussions that are happening behind doors, behind closed doors. We're not seeing these discussions play out in front of the American people. But what we are hearing is what certain lawmakers are proposing, different bills that they're trying to introduce to Congress and hoping to get passed. Now, we have some other issues that are holding these up. And I'm going to address that in just a moment. All I ask is if you can spend just 2 seconds, go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. Now let's get right down to it. So what is happening? Well, there's a new bill that was just proposed to Congress that is trying to keep people from losing thousands and thousands of dollars of their benefits. This is going to help out many people. It's going to save them tens of billions of dollars. And it's going to be a godsend to most of these people that are struggling. Now, we have a problem. Even though there are some lawmakers that are pushing to see additional benefits go to Social Security recipients, the other issue is we do not have a Speaker of the House. And here's where things really start to unravel. Before, when we had a Speaker of the House, it was Kevin McCarthy, who's now just a representative in the House of Representatives. He's not the Speaker, he's the former Speaker. He has no additional powers than anybody else. However, whoever the next Speaker of the House is will have more power than any of these other representatives. This is one of the reasons why Congress is facing a difficult task. Republicans are trying to vote different people in as the next Speaker of the House. First, we saw Steve Scalise, and then he pulled himself out of the race. Then we saw Representative Jim Jordan, who failed 3 different votes. First, he started off with 200 yes votes, which was 17 shy of getting the gavel. Then he was 19 shy because he only got 198. Then in his third vote, he actually lost 25 Republican votes. So he keeps on going further and further down. Now here's what, according to reports, he was promising other lawmakers. He was promising lawmakers that he was going to cut future spending. Now, we don't know exactly where these cuts were going to happen. Was it going to happen to the IRS? Was it going to happen to the Education Department? Was it going to happen to military budgets? Possibly Social Security and Medicare? We don't know. But if you look at all the different news reports, you look on Twitter now, or X, whatever you want to call it, it's saying that Republicans want to cut Social Security. Now, is there any truth to this? Well, here's the truth. Lawmakers, not just Republicans, want to save a little bit of money. They want to stop spending so much money so we, the U.S., can potentially get out of debt or stop adding to our national deficit. Well, right now, there are still discussions of who is the next Speaker of the House. Who are Republicans going to vote for next? Well, here's the big thing. Democrats have said, and they said this again just today, is that they will not help in choosing a Republican speaker unless they are against cutting Social Security and Medicare. There has to be some type of agreement, some type of promise that they are not going to accept any reduction in benefits, any reduction in spending to the Social Security Administration as well. And again, funding to the Social Security Administration does not impact your benefits that come every single month. That is from a completely different program. Now, what is happening right now is the Speaker of the House, well, we don't have one. We have a Speaker pro tempore. It's Representative Patrick McHenry. But according to reports this morning as well, Republicans are not going to give him the authority to put a bill on the floor or give him more authority to potentially pass a bill. So right now, Congress is at a standstill. So all those different reports that, and I talked about this morning, I talked about this yesterday as well, actually in 2 videos yesterday, where people that are saying that we're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check because Social Security or people are going to give Social Security recipients a bigger boost. There's no truth to that yet. There's discussions. There's no bill. All right? There's no bill. I wish I could tell you that Social Security recipients are going to get a massive boost, but there's no truth to that. That'd be false. The boost that Social Security recipients are about to get is a cost of living adjustment, your COLA for 2024, which is 3.2%, which is currently under what our current inflation is. So again, I wish I could tell you that everything's going to be perfectly fine, but that's just not the case. Now, here's the other thing. When it comes to an increase, there are potential boosts coming, and it actually has to do with this. Senators are demanding answers from the Social Security Administration on clawbacks that are tied to COVID relief funds. Now, what am I talking about with this? Well, what's happened and what has actually came to light lately is we saw that the Social Security Administration is trying to claw back about $21 billion. This is going to impact tens of thousands of people that are currently on the hook for thousands, tens of thousands, over $100,000 in SSI payments that they've had overpayment. This isn't just SSI, but SSI is the one that is being impacted the most. Now, if, for example, a person passed away and their spouse received their income, their Social Security benefit, guess what? If you pass away on, let's say today, October 21st, you would not get a payment next month. You would have to withhold that. You'd have to report that your spouse passed away, which again would be a tragedy and very sorry, but you wouldn't get the benefit for that month. You would have to pay that back. And every month that you receive that, right, where they don't know that your spouse passed away, you'd have to pay that money back. Well, when it came to COVID funds, here's what happened. People were receiving, a lot of additional relief, whether it was rental assistance, they maybe receive something for nutrition, potentially additional income, right? Maybe it was a stimulus check of $1,400. This additional stimulus caused people to go over their amount that they could have in savings, right? Their assets. Because of that, they were ineligible for certain payments. And now the IRS, or Social Security Administration, wants that money back. And they're going to stop sending your payment until that money is paid back in full. Or you come up with an agreement and you pay back like 10%, or you do 12 monthly payments, installments. This is turning into an issue. But here's what's happening. So the other day, Senator Sherrod Brown, as well as a couple others, they introduced a bill to help Social Security beneficiaries negatively impacted by pandemic stimulus checks. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the bill that's now being introduced, but this is from Senator Sherrod Brown. There's a couple others in here as well. Senator Ron Wyden out of Oregon and Senator Bob Casey out of Pennsylvania are also pushing for this as well. This is in the Senate. Now, the reason why you're not seeing a lot of this stuff is because senators are proposing this. This bill can end up in the Senate, okay, because Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer can bring it to the floor. Well, let's say it passes. Let's say it passes with the overwhelming majority. Let's say 70 people vote for this, vote yes. Guess what? That bill would then go to the House. Who's going to bring it to the floor in the House? Nobody. So even though this is a good bill, this is something, and I haven't looked at the entire bill, but even though this is a good idea, the problem is, even if they pass it now, it's going to head to the House of Representatives and sit there. It's just going to sit on a desk because no one's going to bring it to the floor. So the reason I bring all this stuff up is actually pretty simple. Social Security is about to change forever. It's going to go in one direction or the other. We don't know exactly which direction it's going to go. We don't know if it's going to be a negative impact on the American people or a positive impact. We don't know if this is going to help the economy or it's going to hurt the economy. We have no clue. But again, I bring this up because just today, actually probably about 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, I received an email from somebody and they sent me a list of probably 15 different videos some on Instagram, some on Facebook, the majority on YouTube, where people are saying, here's your $1,400 stimulus check. Here is your $1,000 boost. Here's your double payment for Social Security. A double payment for Social Security doesn't mean you get 2 payments that month and you still get every payment for every subsequent month. No. There's certain months where you get paid like the end of the month. And I believe last month was one of those where you got paid at the end of September for October. Right? And so, or end of September, and then you got another one for October. So again, 2 payments within like a week. Well, that's what happens. Just understand, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of misinformation. Find somebody that you can trust. I come on here and I try to give you as much information as possible. Try to show you different articles, like this one. Just so I'm not trying to make up news stories. I'm reading between the lines, trying to explain what's going on, whether it's with Social Security, child tax credit payments, Congress, the war. A lot of times, you're just going to get basic information. So, one thing that I ask is if you enjoy these daily updates, please go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, consider subscribing so I can help you navigate the craziness that's going around regarding Social Security. Because one thing that I know is there's so many different articles online. There's so many different pieces of information. Everybody has a different angle, potentially a different agenda as well. So, and also if you guys have any questions, ask your questions down in the comment section below. I don't always respond to the comments, but I read them and I will write down the ones that I am interested in either learning from or answering a question. And a lot of times I answer those questions in a following video. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.